Participants here. The movie is Crown Heights.
We have three of the actors in the movie Crown Heights, directed and written by Matt Rusking. We have with us Nnamdi Asomugha, Lakeith Stanfield, and Natalie Paul with us. And this is based on the true story of Colin Warner. And it says here it's played with heartbreaking sincerity by Lakeith Stanfield. Plays the part of Colin Warner. So let me ask you first, Colin, or excuse me, Lakeith, to tell us. You are so heartbreakingly sincere. I think you're Colin, but tell us who, for people who don't know the true story, who Colin Warner was.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Colin Warner is a man who was living in Brooklyn, Crown Heights, in the early 1980s, who at age like 17 got caught up in an incident and became the scapegoat for a murder that occurred, for which he would spend 20 years in prison that he had absolutely nothing to do with. So I play him.
He didn't do it. He was
didn't do it.
He was convicted.
Yes, he was convicted and maintained his innocence throughout trial after trial after trial and throughout his stay in prison. But despite that, didn't get out until 20 years later.
Very bitter, I would assume.
I would too, but he was not.
Really?
Not bitter.
No. Actually, I got a chance to meet him because he's still alive and well and running around and free now, thankfully. And I expected him to be at least a little bit anti-establishment.
Yeah.
But he was just very calm and had a real sense of understanding about the world around him and really just at peace with things. I guess after so much time consistently being, held against your will, you start to realize that there's some things in life you simply can't control, and you must accept what you can change and actively work toward changing those things if you can. And that seemed to be his disposition.
Has he seen the film?
No. You'll see it tonight.
So he's here.
He's here.
Yeah.
Mr. Asomugha, who do you play in Crown Heights?
So I play Carl King, Colin's best friend. When Colin is put into prison, they're both from Trinidad and they moved to Brooklyn. When Colin is put into prison, Carl is one of the few people that actually knows he had nothing to do with the murder. So it really breaks him up, and he then goes on this journey for 20 years just fighting to prove his innocence.
Sticks with his friend through.
Yeah, he sticks with his friend, and he actually ends up going through the community. I guess that's why we call it Crown Heights, because you start to see a community of people in that neighborhood band together and get behind Carl just to prove Colin's innocence.
And then Natalie, your role in the film.
I play Antoinette. She's Colin's girlfriend, and actually they get married while he's incarcerated, and she really sees
Spoiler.
him. Oh, sorry. Should I not?
No.
That's
That's
in the
okay.
talking points.
There are history books. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This actually happened.
It's
so
a real.
people might
It's
know.
real.
Yeah,
event.
it happened, and she sees him through the entire time. She actually is recruited by Carl King to help with, finding who actually murdered him and to prove him innocent. And then through that process, she gets to know him, and they fall in love.
These people are all still around. Yeah, are they?
Yeah, they're still married too.
Yeah, are they here?
Yeah.
Are these people all here in
Yep.
Park City?
They're all coming to the screening.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about Sundance is you'll see this great film, and then there'll be a panel of the actors and oftentimes having the real life people there, and you should go, and there's a question and answer period where people can talk to you, and it's great. That's tonight at the Library Center Theater, 9 p.m.
Is this the premiere tonight?
This is the premiere.
I want to ask: was it difficult for you guys? And like Lakeith, a lot of the burden on you, of course, but all of you, portraying these real people, and then knowing that they're going to come and see it. And does it make you feel kind of weird? And is it hard to do it? And think you sort of owe a debt to them in a way. Was that difficult?
Yeah, weird is an understatement. It's profoundly uncomfortable, especially when you're on set and the people that you're sort of portraying are there watching your every movement. And what I tried to do when I was sort of shadowing Colin was not really get down to the particulars of how he strokes his beard or whatever, but more try to derive the sort of universal truths in his character that I connected to, so therefore I could present it in that way and not really try to get down to, he holds his head like this or whatever. But in doing that, it's of course it's a very, very weird thing, and I think you have to forget about that when you get into the performance aspect of it, because if you're holding that burden on you, it gets a little difficult and contrived and constraining to move. So you have to throw it off once you get into the scene and the zone of it. But prior to that, you are sort of considering that, you want to make sure that you do right by them.
So you did that with this role, but did you approach it differently when you played Snoop in Straight Outta Compton?
I had to approach it differently with Snoop because I had less time to prepare.
Oh.
I got the role of Snoop at 10 p.m. and they said you need to be on set by 5 a.m. So that was my prep time.
I used to have to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Well, it's called research.
That's all you got to
It's
do.
called
Don't get me
research.
started, man.
That's it.
It's researching the role.
I mean, is there a physical resemblance? Do you guys bear physical resemblances to those characters? at all?
100%. I think Natalie Paul and Antoinette, if you see the younger pictures of Antoinette, there's just something that's crazy. And even I think with Keith and Colin, you'll see. Mine maybe less.
Well,
with
I'd say
Carl.
Colin's was a lucky guy if he married a woman who looked like that.
Oh, look at that.
Pretty.
Oh.
I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. It's called Crown Heights. The premiere is tonight. The director is Matt Rusking, and Lakeith Stanfield plays Colin Warner. And then we also have with us Natalie Paul and Nnamdi Asomugha. Do you guys have to do these two guys were from Trinidad? Have to do accents?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a little challenge, or did you fall easily into that?
No, we didn't fall easily. But we did a lot of work on it.
Yeah.
I remember we would have sessions together, and we had an accent coach that was from Trinidad. That's actually has a little part in the film. But yeah, it was not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It was, some
Do you
weeks of
film?
work.
I assume you filmed it in Crown Heights as well, right? I'll bet you the community was pretty interested in the whole thing because a lot of people there still know the story and still are a part of the story, right?
Yeah. I think the zeitgeist really aided the film. I think it's an appropriate title because of that. Because I'm not from New York, and I very rarely actually go to New York and places like this as well, simply because I can't withstand cold weather. And
Sorry.
Yeah. but I still seem to not dress in a prepared way. You would think I'd have layers on. I'm coming out here practically naked, looking stupid. But
You got Converse on. That's never going to get you up
know
and
what I'm
down the
saying?
street.
In the
It's not a
snow.
good thing, man.
I did the same thing.
But that and like big congregations of people. But anyways, in that sort of zeitgeist in New York, it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like a great backdrop to kind of tell this story, because there's so many segments of different kinds of people, and it's easy to misinterpret things, not only from the people who have moved there, but from the people who are situated there. So when you come from a different place and you live there now, it's easy for people to be like, well, I don't know what this person is capable of doing, particularly when their hair is, what I'm saying, looking all, unlike what people are used to. So I think that was a good kind of place to set this story, which is a lot of it is about judging books by their covers.
Yeah, Natalie.
I'm actually from Brooklyn, and my background is West Indian. I'm not from Trinidad, but it's really great to see in the film how people look out for each other, and I thought that was incredibly accurate. I'm not from Crown Heights, but I know the area very, very well, and it's totally right on the way people really look out for each other. It's an incredibly connected community that, looks out for each other, supports each other, and the story of Colin is unique and singular, but had it been anyone else doing anything else, this would have just happened. It was natural. So, as a Brooklynite, I feel really proud to be part of this movie. I feel like it really represents it well.
Brooklyn!
Yeah, that's right.
Lakeith, where are you from that you're not used to cold?
Oh, this West Coast all day.
Coast?
No, I'm just kidding. Southern California, San Bernardino, Inland Empire.
So what's next for? We're gonna wrap it up here, but just you guys are. I mean, you're doing very well in your career. What's next for all of you guys after Crown Heights? What's next for you, Lakeith?
You'll have to stay tuned. I got a couple things on Netflix coming out. There's a movie called Death Note, which is basically a live-action version of a Japanese manga.
That's right.
And I play a character from there, which is really going to be fun. And I speak Japanese in it, so yeah, look out for that.
All right.
And, some other
Natalie, where can people see you next?
I will be in the TV show called The Deuce on HBO. It's another. I did Show Me Here before that, which is a David Simon sort of led production, and this is as well. And I play a reporter who. Well, the show is about prostitution and police corruption and the grimy streets of 42nd Street in New York in the 70s. And I play a reporter who sort of has her eye on all of that.
Okay.
So look out for that.
All right, and Namdi, where are you next?
I am on the producing front, producing a film about Harriet Tubman that I'm working on now. And then on the acting front, I've got some things in early development that I don't want to jinx.
All right.
So just training and getting better.
All right, thanks
Put me
you
in that Harriet
guys.
Tubman movie.
Okay. You and it.
He wants to play Harriet Tubman. He wants to stretch his acting.
versatile
Really
actor.
stretch it. All right, Crown Heights is the movie. Look for it, and thanks a lot, all of you. Thank you.
Crown Heights, everyone. All right.